In 2018, we got Black on Black. In 2019, we didn't get a full group performance because SM hates us. Just kidding, it's probably just because Wavy was in China. And in 2020, we got Resonance. Resonance is pretty weird. It's something that I've never seen an entertainment label do before for marketing, and amazingly, I think it worked. When Black on Black came out, there was sort of this general acceptance that Black on Black is not a song. It completely lacks any normal musical structure, and with the exception of 3 rap verses from Taeyang, Mark, and Lucas, it's essentially just a 3-minute long dance break with a sick EDM beat, some chanting, and a tiger growl playing in the background. You're not really meant to listen to Black on Black. You're meant to watch Black on Black. The focus of Black on Black is, of course, not the song, it's the performance and the choreography. And for quite a while after it came out, Black on Black was my favorite NCT music video. And for as much as I love Black on Black, Resonance is, in my opinion, a pretty big upgrade. If you watch the 2 music videos back to back, it's obvious that the production value of Resonance is much higher. I think the choreography of Resonance is better. I think the music video of Resonance is better. And I think the song of Resonance is better. But it does share the similarity with Black on Black in that Resonance is not really a song. Resonance is not a song, it's 4 songs. It's a mashup, kind of. And this is obvious to any NCT fan the very first time you watch it. And I actually think this is a very risky choice for SM Entertainment. Rarely are mashups good. They're usually bad, and Resonance could have turned out to be a total mess. But it's not. Fans loved it. And I think a lot of the reason why lies in the way SM designed the song and music video. Here is the song structure of Resonance. It follows your pretty standard AB, AB, CB song structure, with the addition of a 3rd verse and a typical K-pop dance break. And here are the parts for each of the NCT songs used in Resonance. The introduction and dance break are unique to the song. The first verse starts out with Taeyang's verse from Make-A-Wish. The chorus parts are all from the B-side track Raise the Roof. The second verse is from 90s Love, the 3rd verse is from Work It, and we go back to Make-A-Wish for the bridge. And if you're an NCT fan, you might be thinking, yeah, whatever, I know all of this. But look a little bit closer, because this is quite clever what SM has done here. The first verse of Make-A-Wish is the first verse of Resonance. The second verse of 90s Love is the second verse of Resonance. The chorus of Raise the Roof is the chorus of Resonance. I find a lot of SM production to revolve around the idea of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's really what is at play here. Every piece of Resonance is exactly where it's supposed to be in the original song it comes from. They didn't try to force the chorus of Make-A-Wish into being a verse. They didn't try to force the first verse of 90s Love into being a bridge. And this is pretty smart. It makes each section easily identifiable, and more importantly, it means SM didn't have to do a ton of production work trying to make pieces of songs fit into slots where they didn't belong. The first verse of Make-A-Wish is the first verse of Make-A-Wish for a reason. And all of those reasons exist in Resonance too. If it's not broke, don't fix it. There are times when simplicity is the best way to go, and this is definitely one of them. SM obviously wanted the other 2020 NCT title tracks to shine in this mashup, and so each of these 3 gets their own verse. But it's a really great idea to make the chorus of Resonance a B-side track. A large portion of K-pop fans don't listen to B-side tracks, and so even though the verses clearly stand out as being from their other title tracks, the chorus of Resonance still feels very new. And it's a great way for SM to highlight and sell B-sides without making additional music videos, because Resonance encouraged a lot of people to go check out the rest of the album. In fact, kind of the whole point of making the mashup in this very block-like structure is that anyone who watched Resonance and wasn't familiar with NCT's work and said, "Hey, that was really good, I especially liked the 3rd verse," well, yippee for you, there's an entire song that you can go and buy that is just that 3rd verse. Visually, each section of the song is given its own unique color palette and styling that harkens back to the original music videos. but it all takes place in the same room with the same lighting and the same camera work. It acknowledges the integrity of each individual piece while still managing to make it fluid as one music video. And yes, this is a textbook example of the SM box, but at least there's a purpose to it this time. I think often what makes mashups off-putting is 1, switching too much between songs, and 2, not giving enough warning that the song is going to change. You're used to hearing these songs evolve in a certain way, and so it's really awkward to hear them change unexpectedly. In Resonance, SM keeps the number of switches between songs to an absolute minimum, and the transitions are done really well, both in the audio and visual. For example, listen to this switch before the second chorus. Ten's final vocal not only fades out before the chorus, but is accompanied by the distorted synth audio sections first heard in the intro. And these are actually in Raise the Roof, they're just much louder and more prominent in Resonance. And more importantly, the visual switch between 90s Love and Raise the Roof happens before the audio switch. Ten's final line of 90s Love is filmed not in the 90s Love room, but on the black stage for the chorus. You're given that warning ahead of time that the switch is coming, and you would be expecting it anyways if you knew the second verse of 90s Love was coming to an end. In every single one of the transitions, the visuals clue you in on what is happening in the song. Before Taeyong starts the first verse of Make a Wish, the background changes blue. In this transition between Work It and the dance break, Johnny flips the camera into the next scene. In the bridge, the gold curtain fades in with the same blue and gold color palette as Make-A-Wish had in the first verse. If you look at the tracklist for the 2 Resonance albums, the songs show up in the mashup in the same order as the tracklist, as well as the same order that their music videos were released. This isn't just a song structure, it's also a timeline. Resonance is not just a random mashup, it's a 5-minute summary of the entire album and a summary of the last few months of 2020 for NCT told chronologically. Which is pretty genius if you look at the reason Resonance exists in the first place. Resonance was designed for their end-of-year award show performances. The music video was released the same week as their Mama performance, and Resonance lets NCT get all of these title tracks in the show without taking up too much time. And it's a great way to have all 23 members on stage together for the finale. Initially, the idea of releasing a mashup for end-of-year promotions seems kind of bad and counterproductive. Why would you re-release content you've already put out, except this time it's gonna be worse? But Resonance really works, and it doesn't work by chance. There's a lot of thought and effort that was put into this mashup. And that's why I think it's one of the few mashups I've ever seen that is actually good and in several ways is an improvement on the original source material. I not only liked and enjoyed Resonance, the mashup made me like all 4 of these songs way more than I did before. NCT has had a huge year for promotions. Including Super M and WayV, NCT members have been a part of 6 different comebacks this year. And there's a legitimate reason for this. EXO's last comeback was November of 2019. The bulk of EXO members are in the military now, and SM has essentially been forced to go without the group that was their primary source of revenue for half a decade. In fact, I would even argue that the point of Super M's debut in October of 2019 has a lot less to do with making a US promoting group, and a hell of a lot more to do with kickstarting this transition from EXO to NCT. They've come a long way in 1 year, and Resonance is a well-deserved highlight reel of all of that work.